What's up? What's up? What's up? I feel like Martin. What's up? What's up? What's up? All right, I went too far already. What's up, man? Hope everybody had a good weekend. Middle of the week going into Thursday, Friday area. My name is Ray. Welcome to Sports with Ray, episode 23. Basically coming off the All-Star weekend. There was a lot of different opinions about the All-Star weekend. I'll go with how I feel about it because it's my opinion. And that's why you're here. You're here to hear what I got to say. But to me, this is how I look at the All-Star weekend. It's like it's something to do. It's cool to gather around to see certain things. I don't have a lot of expectations. It's almost like a celebration. So I look at it like that. There's some things you get to see that you get wowed off of, and that makes it better. I always say it's like me going to the club. I've been going to the club for a long time, so I don't go to the club for the same reasons that I used to when I was younger. I go to enjoy myself. I like to be around my company and just want to bring positive vibes and good vibes. My intentions when I was younger was get at them. Not to say as an adult, I still don't want to get at them, but I'm not in that same mind frame. I come from the era where you have 5 numbers written down on a napkin. You might have to get the 6, I have to have the memory for the 7 for it, vice versa. You might have a slow night, your pen might run out, may only have 2, but you got to remember both numbers, remember the name. I come from that era, but the All-Star weekend was cool. Shout out to Dame. Dame won the 3-point contest. I said Halliburton was going to win. He came close, but when the lights came on, it was just different. Dame did what he had to do. Slam dunk contest, Mac McClung did some dunks that if somebody famous did it, we'd be talking about those are the greatest dunks that you ever seen, but because people didn't know who he was, and by people, I mean a lot of older people. That's the funny part. Do I got something? No, that's that smooth gray right there. You see that gray coming in. But anyway, a lot of young people know who he is. I'm aware of him because the same way I got hip to him, the same way I got hip to Zion, through Facebook and through YouTube. His highlights. He used to be doing all them crazy dunks. I'm like, who's the white kid that used to do all those crazy dunks? So, okay. He went to Georgetown, then Texas Tech. Like, okay. This man did a 540. He did all his dunks clean first take. And people feel I feel some kind of way too. I'm not going to go into it. I had a conversation. I think I said Stephen A mentioned this and I agreed. I always said shout out to him. But ever since LeBron, who was the next person to take the mantle, ever since he decided not to do the dunk contest, all the stars follow that shit. For whatever reason or not, So everybody wants to complain about the stars and complain about how they can make it better. My question is, what do you mean by better? What you really mean is you want it to be more star-studded, which I get. But then I'm also from my point of view is when it comes to art, like dunking and stuff like that is an art, just like I feel like music is an art. Give me the person who does it the best. When somebody asks me who my favorite rapper is, who's my favorite lyricist, it changes because I just don't have one person. I don't have a greatest. It changes. I know people that I'm cool with that have said better things lyrically than people that are known. So to me, that factors into me. So I say that to say, yeah, if Ja Morant did the same thing that McClung did, y'all would say it would be the greatest dunk contest. Zion did that, y'all would say it would be the greatest dunk contest. But because he was an unknown, so y'all just want to see famous people do famous things so you can hop on a stick. You know what I'm saying? I get it. No, I don't get it. I get where you want the stars, but if the dunks are good, the dunks are good. And if you don't know about somebody, maybe you should research them. Like last year, the people said the dunk contest was terrible. This year, you got somebody to do something that was amazing that we never seen before, Yeah, some people are just gonna complain all the time. You're just gonna be angry at breakfast, like Cat Williams said. So, but shout out to that kid, man. Shout out to that kid, man. He did his thing. All-Star game was weak. LeBron, KD, they, you know what I'm saying, they really missed LeBron, KD, Steph, and Giannis. Their energy would have made it at least a little more competitive, even though it doesn't get competitive. And I know people be talking about this. Back in the day, it was more competitive. Not all the time. Nah. People are always going to complain about the All-Star game. It's an exhibition. But like you said, for a lot of times, this stuff is made for the young people. The young people like it, and we love it. Y'all want to see scoring. Y'all want to see defense. So that's what they gave y'all. But going into the stretch run, season resumes tomorrow. I'm very interested to see how Phoenix looks. It looks like KD may not play Friday, but he may play next Wednesday. We're all ready to see that. Russ getting signed to the Clippers. I'm so happy. I'm so happy. I'm so happy. I am a Russ apologist, but I also understand Russ be doing some BS too. And I feel like a lot of things that Russ did could have been harnessed early, but they just kind of let him rock. But also the things that he did great when he went to LA, you took it away from him. And then knew he wasn't going to be great, but still expecting him to be great so you can criticize him. And, the shit that people do with me, like if I'm blessed enough, when I'm blessed enough as this continues to rise and my platform gets bigger, I'll never say anything out of malice, but I never really, if I'm criticizing or giving, I forgot the word, constructive criticism. I never really bring it from a malicious place. But what you hear about how a lot of these media people to make the story, to make it, they just regurgitate it and spit it out, just the Russell Westbrook BS. And he played bad at times, but he also was the most reliable. He was supposed to be the third wheel. He wasn't supposed to be the most reliable person. He was the most durable person and the most reliable person. And they made sure they did everything to break the strongest man's character. And now let's see how they do. And, man, I just hope. It can go good, it can go bad. But I feel like Ty Lue is going to let him play. And Ty Lue will say something, even though I feel like Darvin Ham will say something, but it was just a bad situation. He just tried to make the best out of the situation. They asked Russ to go to the bench. He went to the bench. They still complaining. Not Darvin, but he went to the bench and played well. And so I hope the Clippers stay healthy and ball out. I do. Because y'all trying to take that man's livelihood, and that's just terrible. Just like Justin Fields, I'm a Bears fan, and I talk about Justin Fields like the fodder, like the shit that the people that they're running with it's just blowing me. It's blowing my mind. Like, and I know, this is the talk that the Bears wanted, so it can generate, interest and say, play poker, see what they're really going to do. But there was a time this year that Justin was playing better than Trevor Lawrence. It wasn't even a question. And Trevor Lawrence had more, all the second year, let's go to Trey Lance. They did it at the beginning of the year. Trey Lance and his cast of weapons. You see what they did for Zach Wilson. You see what they did for Trevor Lawrence. And you see that Justin lost Allen Robinson, Khalil Mack. Then, when their offense was putrid, they gave up their best player, arguably their best defensive player, all-pro linebacker, when their defense was top 10, top 12, and their best defensive lineman. Then, when they got it together and was number one in scoring, their defense was 29th. So they struggled on offense, was top 10, then gave away their offense, then they went number one, and then they're 29th, and then people. It's just crazy. But I digress. I'm going to go back to basketball, but I'm going to mention something about that, until it gets straightened out because it's just asinine. And I wish more people would come and be offended. Maybe they should trade, man. What? Stop it. But let's go back to the regular season. Giannis's wrist is a question. He'll be out for a little bit. Bucks are clicking on all cylinders. Philly, you're going to have to prove something, and it's going to be really James Harden. They keep saying Tyrese Maxey is the second best player. That doesn't make sense. He's not the second best player. James Harden is the second best player. It's just that simple. Just that simple. But Philly's going to have to prove it. Let's go to I'm in Atlanta. Trae Young gets another African-American head coach fired. Now, I've seen people say things about Nate McMillan, former players, as far as his ways, and ain't nobody trying to take all that and anything, and nobody has time for that. But when they fired Lloyd Pierce and Nate McMillan did that remarkable job and flipped it, they was taking it then. Both Lloyd Pierce and Nate McMillan seem like they're disciplinarians and they want to hold people in check. And similar to how, maybe not to the same extent, the same way Russ got blamed for the Brunner stuff in LA, the scapegoat in Atlanta is John Collins. John Collins was a man that averaged a double-double. It's funny, he said something about, as far as Trae Young, where they were having issues. But now they phasing him so much out the game. When he's athletic and a live body, can really be a presence. Because, I think Trae Young is dope. He got the makings of a super, that superstar, in the playoffs. He got the ice water. He's clutch. But I've been said it to me. Atlanta's a different city. Some cities, whether you like it or not, that top athlete embodies the city. Trae don't embody Atlanta to me. That's nothing against him. I don't mean nothing wrong with him. You see what I'm saying? Michael Vick embodied Atlanta. People like Matt Ryan, and Matt Ryan was cool. I don't see him as embodying Atlanta. Freddie Freeman, embodiment of Atlanta. So it's not just a race thing either. Dansby from Atlanta. You see where I'm getting? Trae? No. It just doesn't. You got two head coaches in a matter of 2 years. 2.5 years. For the same thing, because they want to hold people accountable. Cam Reddish didn't work. I get that. Oh, yeah, the GM got fired too. But DeAndre Hunter, I think the NBA, with some people, they do him a disservice. They got DeAndre looking like a low budget Mikal Bridges, where they just relegate him to 3 and D. DeAndre Hunter is 6'7", 6'8", with a wingspan of about 6'11". That man can handle. He can create his own shot. That man needs the ball, the wings, Cam Reddish, DeAndre Hunter. They need the ball. They need to work. John Collins, they need to work. You try to put them in a peg. Okay, now Capella's a dive, rebound, alley-oop kind of guy. Lob threat, plays defense, great. That's his role. Those other kids, they can have roles that can expand, that can really help the team. But it seems like Atlanta is predicated on Trae, and now DeJounte can go get his. You see what I'm saying? But you making those other players dependent on them. And they're not growing. They're not developing right. And they're not being held accountable. So I'm not going to lie. I don't like, Like, and then okay, like so then you get Quinn Snyder here, and Quinn Snyder's a great coach. Quinn Snyder's about discipline too. I bet you won't act the same way with Quinn Snyder. And that's what has me like. Now I can understand if there's some coaches that just foul and all, but if they not foul, y'all just disagreeing like. But you go with Quinn Snyder come in, then you need to act accordingly. Whatever, man. Whatever. I don't feel that. I don't. You know, you got to take some accountability. You the franchise guy, be the franchise guy. Or maybe you're not maybe you're the franchise player, but not the franchise guy. Maybe people like you, or maybe the voice ain't resonating. Because getting 2 coaches fired in the 2.5 years, you know what I'm saying? And you only been there, Luka, well, hell, Luka, but Jason, shit. Jason Kidd's a disciplinarian too. So I don't know. Jason Kidd, Nate McMillan, them was 2, that point guard, that old school, they ain't, Jason Kidd got more cachet though. I would say bring in a Mark Jackson, but I don't know what they want to do. But that definitely bothered me. Definitely bothered me to a T. But we'll see how it goes. What else? Let's just talk. Oh, yeah. Garcia and Tank officially signed for the 15th, April 15th. Both good fighters. Both could get knocked out because they fight with a reckless abandon. People try. The funny thing in boxing, people in sports in general always try to say somebody didn't fight nobody or somebody didn't play somebody. Like, y'all don't even know enough people to say who was who. Like, if the general consensus is that the problem with boxing is the elites don't get to fight each other, then nobody's fought each other then. I mean, I know that's not true. I'm just saying by going by a lot of people's logic. But Tank has fought more people than Garcia. It's not even close. Tank done been in the wars. And Garcia, he got a heavy punch. I'm not gonna lie, but so did Tank. You know. Of course, I'm rocking with Tank. I say Tank for some reason, round 5 is in my head. I'll revisit that again. But I'm glad to see that they got it done. Hopefully more will follow. I mean, we know wanting to see Spence and Crawford. Not even going to waste my breath on the frustration with that. But hopefully this leads to more fights. Like, people be scared to take an ass whooping. They're scared to take a loss. Hagler, Hearns, Roberto Duran, Sugar Ray Leonard all fought each other. Sugar Ray fought Duran and Hagler multiple times. It's all right, man. If you win, you win. If you lose, come back and, Deontay Wilder lost. Man, that's all right. Like, you lost to the best. That's cool. You probably still think you could beat him, which I feel you. That's maybe like how Juan Manuel Marquez felt when he fought Pacquiao. Even though I felt like he won a couple of those and they just really played him. But, it was that close. Deontay put the Gypsy King on his ass a few times. Like, so those are great fights. You can't be scared to lose, man. That's how I feel. So this is just a quick breeze through YouTube. So if you got a second, like, comment, check out some of my other work that I have on here. Continue to bring in this information, my point of view. It's the way I think. I like to say that I'm going to start off. I'm going to give what I want to give as far as my information. And then I feel like conversations can always unlock to go deeper. So we're gonna give you level 1 and level 2, and then as we continue these conversations and these episodes, we're gonna dig into it because we want to get to the root, because that's what good conversation does. It really just opens up dialogue, opens up your mind, opens up your thoughts. So, some things you want to talk about, just give me a holler. My social media handles, Ray Rob, REIROBB 97. That is Instagram, that's Twitter, that's TikTok, that's Snapchat. The Facebook page is the Ray Rob Report, REIROBBREPORT. Appreciate y'all, man. Once again, Sports for Ray. I'm out. Have a good one.